Yay, we are live.
Hey.
Hi, Sarah.
Hey, Brandy. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you? I see we have people joining us on Zoom. It's so great to see everyone for our Lunch and Learn series for our friends on the East Coast and our breakfast series for friends on the West Coast. And so what we're going to be talking about today is just a free-form Q&A session. We wanted to make sure that people could get their questions answered. We've been doing our Lunch and Learn series for about a month now, and we've talked about some really great topics. And a lot of questions were asked in the chat boxes that not everybody got the chance to see. So we definitely want to take some time and answer those questions. I see we have quite a few people that are joining us. If you could just go in the chat box and tell us where you're joining from. I see Lisa has joined us from Maryland, but where are you joining us from? Are you all in the United States? Do we have any of our friends from our international markets with us? We'd love to hear where you are joining us from. And again, just to say hello, my name is Brandy Murphy. I'm the Director of Training and Field Development for nutraMetrix. And I have Sarah Tegender with me. Sarah, say hi and tell them who you are.
Director of Sales. I live right outside of Boston, Massachusetts. And this was really a very informative series. And I'm glad that we're able to kind of wrap this up here with a question and answer, because, there's, as you go out, and I hope people didn't just listen to our segments. We did a segment all about nutraMetrix and web centers. We did a segment nutraMetrix and Shop Financial. We did a segment nutraMetrix and TLS Transitions Lifestyle System, our weight management system. And I hope that people didn't just listen to the segments. Oh, we did a segment also with motives, all about our new skincare. You know, a lot of people are getting excited as it ships in the next couple weeks. And so I hope people don't just listen to those. And Brandy, I've said that I think that nutraMetrix is very similar to even the way that medical doctors got trained. I know that my dad, as a surgeon, the saying always was, see one, do one, teach one. And if you look at our marketing wheel, it's very similar. It's let's see some protocols. Let's actually dive in there and do them with our own patients. As a nutraMetrix consultant, let's do some implementation with our own accounts. And then let's go ahead and even teach that. And isn't that exactly what J.R. Ridinger says as the ABC pattern of duplication? Because I know that we're all here for that L factor, which is leverage. I don't want to be the expert of all these divisions on my team. I want to really empower and create a whole team of experts. I tell you guys a lot of times that I have this got a guy approach, which means I got a guy for that. I'm not a web centers expert, but I got a guy who's a web centers expert. I'm not the motives expert, but I got a gal who's the motives, or a guy in your organization who's the motive expert. And so I think in this series, it just really solidifies the overarching theme of leveraged income. And yeah, Lisa, you're giving me an amen in the chat. So thank you so much.
That's awesome. And let's go right into some of the questions. And I see we have people from all over. We have people from Maryland, New York, North Dakota, Connecticut, London, Singapore, South Dakota, more from Singapore, Boston, Massachusetts. We have people from all over. And one of the questions was, I love this concept of nutraMetrix, but I don't live in the US. How can I leverage the nutraMetrix factor or working with health professionals? And we didn't talk about the International Health Professional Program yet. So for our friends who live outside of the United States, the nutraMetrix brand is only available in the United States, but we do have an International Health Professional Program. What does that mean, and why is that? And I'll go through and just talk about that really quickly, and then if you have anything to add, Sarah, I think that's great. Market America was founded in 1992, and we didn't start the nutraMetrix division here in the US until 2004. And the reason why we started it is we found that we had health professionals who were using the product line with their patients and loved it. But many of them were confused about how to implement in their practice. And so the nutraMetrix division was really created primarily as a training method, right? To be able to have somebody like a nutraMetrix consultant go in and help provide the training to the practitioner in their office without having to do all of the home meetings that many of the practitioners just didn't have time for. So because they didn't have time for it, they weren't getting the training they needed. So we came up with this idea of having somebody trained on how to implement go into their practice during office hours and teach them the implementation strategy. But we did it in the beginning with our existing health and nutrition products that were available for sale in the United States. And that's what we're doing in our international health professional programs until they grow to the point where they can support having their own label. And I do just want to share that even in the United States, we only have about 18 products that have the nutraMetrix label. The vast majority of our products that our health professionals carry have the same label. TLS is the same look and feel. Heart Health are the same. Our products like Prime have the same labeling. So please don't allow the fact that we don't have a nutraMetrix label in the international markets to deter you from wanting to work with health professionals. We have in the international markets training materials on downloads about how to implement in health professional practices. So you can use those tools. Just go do a search in the back office in downloads for International Health Professional Program, and you'll be able to see how to build nutraMetrix style with the products in your own country. So we do have that ability. And we also have the HP1 program available in the international markets. And Dennis and I are going to be doing a series next Tuesday where we talk in depth about the evolution of nutraMetrix, and that includes the International Health Professional Program launch and the HP1 program and the differences in the US and the other markets. So you're going to want to make sure you tune into that, where that's what we really hone in on that. Anything you want to add? I know you've worked with some people in Canada that are building nutraMetrix style. Anything you want to add, Sarah?
Yeah, and I actually just got asked this the other day by someone I'm working with who has some connections outside of the United States. And my best advice too, if you're just getting started, just getting started with us, whether it's with our consumer division, just Market America and shop.com, or you're just dipping your toes in the water with nutraMetrix. And this happens sometimes, Brandy, where then people are referred to a whole group of people who have connections in Mexico, or they have connections in the UK, or even connections somewhere where we don't even have like strong roots and we're maybe an emerging market. I say, that's fine, but we have to have success ourselves, right? We've got to put the oxygen mask on for ourselves. And you have to first build an unfranchise in the market country where you are. And so when people send me those sort of referrals, that's fine. I just don't want to always go down such a rabbit hole. And that, I forget who told me this, but, only build a fire as far as you're willing to carry the wood, right? And so if that's just something that's going to be really far away, I will go ahead and I will never turn down a referral. I will never turn down a connection email. But I will try to push and ask for referrals back to my market country, back to the United States. So if I'm on a conference call with a provider who leads me to another provider who's in, let's say, Mexico, and they're saying, oh, I'm interested in this, I'm, kind of sorting through people and saying, do you have connections back to the United States? So we can kind of go full circle, which is going to help me as a brand new itty bitty nutraMetrix consultant, grow my business first, because you've got to kind of go through that natural life cycle before you can go and do something that not that, and I know that you and I, Brandy, we don't believe in the normal, things that people tell us, that things are hard or it has to be laborious, and, that anything's harder than anything else. It's just different, and there's different rules. So there's more to learn and more to keep track of. It is a bit simpler to start in your market country. That's my advice.
I totally agree with that. And, I've gone over to the United Kingdom. I've done 2 trainings in the UK over the past few years of how to build with health professionals in the UK. And guys, it really comes down to know your products, know your core business, and then just pay attention to what the training materials for nutraMetrix say about how to help a health professional learn the products and learn how to implement them with their patients, right? And so that leads us to the next question, which is, if I have attended a nutraMetrix consultant training, but I live in another country, can I work with health professionals in the US? And if that is the case, and you're building in the US and you want to have nutraMetrix status, if you've attended a nutraMetrix training, we'll give you nutraMetrix status in the US to work with those US health professionals that you may know. So
Let
One
me
of the
give you a
other,
tip on that
yeah,
too.
go ahead. Go ahead.
I work with a Canadian distributor and he's right there on the border. And he's actually finding that because so many things turned virtual, he's been able to attend a lot of United States networking events and meet a lot of US providers and get them in the funnel. Now, I know he's also part of North America, which makes things a little different. Gosh, Brandy, there's so many international roles to keep track of. But and staying within your own market. It's not country. What's that, like region
Region.
area? Yeah. Okay. So staying within your market America region sometimes is even a little bit easier. And so him being in Canada and networking online with, I put this down below, like, cause we're below, I guess. And so, working with the United States down below him is a little bit simpler. And he's been able to, really go down some cool avenues with that.
And there's people that have been joining. You and I just did a training on Saturday for, it was called a nutraMetrix 101, 201, where we gave the overview of working with health professionals. And we had people from Malaysia, we had people from Singapore, we had people from Taiwan, we had people from Australia that joined us on the weekend. And so, I love that all the trainings are online right now because it does take down those geographic barriers. And people typically wouldn't come to the US for a one-day training on nutraMetrix, but now they can participate through the GMTSS no matter where they are and at least learn the conversation that we have. Because it doesn't matter what country you're in, having a conversation about why health professionals should implement nutraceuticals in their practice makes sense no matter where you are. Learning how to talk about your products no matter what they are, but depending on where you live, it all fits together. So we love having our international partners join us in our US trainings that are done online, and we hope more people will do that as well, because then they can take the same concepts and apply it no matter where they live. Now, let's go away a little bit from the international conversation and just talk about, you mentioned the big L word, like that the whole goal is to leverage. And no one really wants to be a jack of all trades and a master of none, right? We should each have our own division that we're focusing on, or our own major that we're focusing on, but we should look to be able to add the Web Center people to our team, the Motives people to our team, the Shop Financial people to our team, so that we have the guy or the gal that we can refer to. Sometimes people will ask the question, and this was one that was typed in, if I attend a nutraMetrix training, whether it's a 101, 201, or the 2-day corporate consultant training, does that mean I need to major in nutraMetrix? Does attending the training mean that's now your major and what you need to build? And I have my answer for that, but what would you say is your answer if somebody were to ask you that?
Gosh, no, I would think even, some people that are certified nutrametrics consultants and make, some of the top income probably wouldn't even say that they major in nutrametrics. They really are, you don't have to. I mean, you can, but you don't have to. I love it. It's a whole choose your own adventure, Brandy. It's, what do you want to be and how do you want to spin it? And even the way that we teach people when we talk about your I am and I implement. And one of the biggest revelations that people have, I was talking to, I get together with some of my best girlfriends that I've actually met through this company, and every couple Monday nights we'll have virtual cocktail hour. And so we had one last night. And one of the girls was saying that it just took her years to realize that it wasn't that she was defined by Market America. It was that she was who she was and then had partnered with this amazing company, Market America, to offer even more to her, tribe, to the people that she loves to serve anyways. And so I really think that, I think seeing all these names of everyone who's here on this, this Zoom with us on this training, you all have something really special about you anyways. I want you to major in you. I want you to be so uniquely you. And if that means that you have a certification as a nutrametrics consultant, it doesn't have to be your major, but it could be, but I still don't want it to define you. I really want you to be uniquely you, because you will attract so many more people doing that.
I love that. And I love the be yourself behind you. That did not escape me, that you have your be yourself behind you as you're saying that. And I want to point out some of our leaders, just some of the things that they have said. For example, many of you know Tammy Moskowitz. And Tammy comes to a training at least once every 2 years to keep her nutraMetrix consultant status. And every time she comes, she says, the reason why I come is because I want to be able to support my team. I know that I'm going to have new people that join my organization that are going to want to focus on nutraMetrix, and I want to know enough about it to be able to answer their questions, or to be able to at least point them in the right direction, or to be able to support them. And I think that's a really powerful statement. I think it's really smart of Tammy to do that. And then you look at somebody like Tom Holden or a Jackie Blasco. They also come to training every 2 years for the same reason. They know that as senior leaders in their organizations, that people are going to call, they're going to be doing three-way calls with people. They're going to be working through names lists with people. And we all know people who are health professionals. We all, whether we're majoring in nutraMetrix or not, we all have people on our names list who could lead to health professionals. And just having enough knowledge by attending, for example, a nutraMetrix 101, 201, or a TLS 101, 201, or a Web Center 101, 201. This isn't just about nutraMetrix. The same concept applies to all of our division trainings. Being able to go to those overview trainings and get enough information allows you to become a better leader, to support your team members when you are helping them through their names list, and you're planning the approach of how you would work through those resources. So I love the concept. I tell everybody that I'm working with, I want you to go to at least the 101s, 201s. Now they're online. It's so inexpensive. You can do them usually in one day, and you get enough to be able to talk about logically all the different divisions, so that no matter who you come across, you can point them in the right direction and make sure they get started on the right path.
Well, let me say something else too, that's maybe
Sure.
even like an easy button thing too, is we have coming up our combined regional in November, and all the majors are going to be represented there, both with breakout sessions and with some main stage sessions. And that's going to be really great.
I totally agree. And then, there's some other things that you learn at these trainings. And I don't care whether we're talking about the emotives training, the MBBA, whether we're talking about a Web Center training, whether we're talking about nutraMetrix 101, 201, there are all nuggets that are given at these events that can help you build your business no matter what they are. And I can speak from the nutraMetrix experience as an example. Coming to a nutraMetrix training or a 101, 201 is going to teach you how to become a better retailer. And if you can, because we teach how to help the health professionals retail products. So we're teaching retail techniques. And if you need more cash flow in your business, the retail profit can help to cover your training expenses, all of your business expenses. When we can travel again, your travel expenses to get to these types of events, they should all be planned to be covered so that you can operate in the black with your retail profit. And then based on that, then you can use your commissions as your coconut or your beach money, right? To be able to really accomplish your goals. But we all want to be working where we can operate in the black, where our business is funding itself. And the best way to do that is through retail. So whether you're learning about TLS and how to retail TLS to people, whether you're learning about web centers, and you can create a huge amount of retail through web centers, and even just by connecting people to the web center sales specialists, right? You would still keep the retail profit from that. But any tips on, why somebody might want to attend a nutraMetrix training or learn about nutraMetrix from that business to business standpoint and what we teach about working with businesses?
Yeah, I think we do some of the best and there's some people that need scripts and some people who don't need scripts, but we'll give you that. We're going to show you how to brand yourself as a professional, how to show up as a professional. Let me just tell you something, Brandy. I saw this company when I think I was actually 19 years old when I saw it. And then it was like a whole year later before I opened up my account. So I was 20 years old when I started. And so I didn't have any background, any experience. I opened up my business in May. And then that June, I flew to Chicago. You were most likely one of the trainers that was there. It was a whirlwind. I don't even remember. I just remember writing out a lot of molecular structures. Like we would actually write out
Back in the day, we don't do that anymore.
it was crazy. And so I sat there as a, no background. I was a lifeguard. Does that count as my background? And so everything I learned about sales, about marketing, about branding really came from this company, from, not just, nutrametrics, but nutrametrics. You guys looked at us and said, you have to be a professional, and you have to be a professional with the entire company. And so other than I think maybe I've missed one or two locals because it happened right around the same time I had one of my three kids. So unless I like literally could not leave for that reason, I have not missed anything in almost 15 years. This is my 15th year with the company. And I got a job as a pharmaceutical rep right out of college, which is, you don't do that with no sales experience. I didn't have no sales experience. I had nutrametrics consultant sales experience. I created a brag book from what I did as a nutrametrics consultant. I ended up being top in my class. I went on to other sales companies where I was a President's Award winner, where I knew how to crack through markets where no one had made any strides before. I got accounts that were the accounts that for years people were trying to go after. And I credit all of it to my nutrametrics training, because that's the caliber of training. It's beyond even a professional sales training when you really plug in like a professional, when you really listen, when you really, take what we have and you don't just hear it, you do it, and then you teach it.
It's so true. And we have to that point, we have people that come to our nutrametrics consultant trainings that have been longtime salespeople, people that have worked in companies like Xerox, which was known for a long time to have one of the best sales trainings in the world. We've had people that have been in real estate sales, insurance sales, all different types of pharmaceutical and medical sales. And they've all echoed the same thing, that the level of training that they receive through nutrametrics in terms of creating an implementation strategy and how to reach out and get accounts is some of the best that they've ever seen. So not to brag on us about that, but I do really think it's valuable for people to know that that's the type of feedback that we get from sales professionals from all around the world that attend the nutrametrics training. And all of our trainings in Market America are that way. I mean, we have so many great trainings. And so that leads me to one of the next question is, if I missed one of the sessions, if I missed the Web Center session, if I missed the Shop Financial session, if I missed the motives session about nutrametrics and motives, or nutrametrics and TLS, where do I find them? And so of course, all of them, except for this one, because Facebook and Zoom did not want to communicate today, are typically found on the Market America Facebook page, where you can just go to the videos tab and you should be able to see the replays there. But we also had them uploaded to the Market America YouTube channel. In addition, anybody that goes to a nutrametrics 101 and 201 session gets access to our learning management system. And our learning management system is basically an online do-it-yourself university, where we have now over probably 75 hours of training curriculum that people can follow at their own pace within the learning management system. We have one for nutrametrics consultants, and we have one for health professionals, and then we have one focused on GeneSNP. So depending on what your interests are, we cover all of those bases. We did put all of these series videos into our learning management system. So I see Eric's writing there. It's awesome. We agree. We hope you like it, and we love that you like it, Eric. So if you have not yet been to a training, when you go to a nutrametrics 101, 201, you get access to that. And there's a progress tracker. So you can pick and choose the videos that are most meaningful to you. You can skip around and it will show you which videos you've watched and which videos you haven't, so that you can track your own progress. I did see that Lisa asked a question about when we'll be doing another series with Jason Pelland on the new nutrametrics digital marketing suite. And so, Sarah, I know that's something you're working on there. Do you guys have a date set for that?
Yeah, that's in 2 weeks.
Okay.
So next week you're with Dennis, and then the following week I'm with Jason.
Okay, awesome. So if you would like more information on how to use the digital marketing suite to market your nutrametrics business, and he created them for every division. So you guys are going to be talking about how to use those in 2 weeks on Tuesday. And those are all the questions I had. You know, we try to stick it around 30 minutes. We're at 26 minutes now. Does anybody have any questions that we didn't cover that you would like to get answered? We want to make sure we get all of your questions answered. So if you have a question that we haven't answered yet, go ahead and type it in the chat box. And I just noticed the comment from Teresa that the training is even better than franchise training. I appreciate that, Teresa. We agree. We think we have some of the best training out there, company-wide. I mean, I think all of unfranchised trainings that we have such a diverse offering of training. We have something for everyone and everything for someone. And so there's never a shortage of information. But let's just see, any other questions?
I just want to throw in the chat. I just found all of the logins for all of our trainings.
Okay, great. So if you have been to a nutraMetrix consultant training and have access to the DMS, not the DMS, the LMS, our learning management system, Sarah did type how to access them. And so you, even if you forgot your password, you can just click on those and there's a forgot your password button and you can get access. If you have not been to a nutraMetrix training or 101, 201 within nutraMetrix, then you can get access to the LMS by attending one. Our next nutraMetrix 101, 201 course is going to be an all-star course done on Sunday, December 6th, where we're going to be featuring some of our most requested nutraMetrix field trainers, and they're going to be covering the nutraMetrix 101 and 201. That is Sunday, December 6th. There's also a TLS all-star event the day before on Saturday. So it's a great way to get at least two of the divisions covered by learning the 101, 201 information on December 5th with the TLS all-star staff, and then Sunday, December 6th with nutraMetrix. You can also check the GMTSS to see when there are other 101s and 201s for each of the divisions coming up. But we hope this was helpful for you. We appreciate you taking the time to join us during your lunch break or breakfast if you're on the West Coast. Any final comments or additional things you wanted to cover today, Sarah?
No, just that we're really, I hope that people put the next all-star training, they put our January training, you really look up and stay connected with us, keep up with the trainings and when they are. Not to say you have to attend all of them, but you're going to want to know when the next one is to send more people there. So you have that leverage factor. So please send more people, tell people in your local groups, your area groups, because even if it's not a team member, maybe it's someone cross-line and you want to work more, regionally and locally. And so just encourage people. If you had a good experience with us, tell them. And that's how it will continue to grow.
Yeah, and that January training that she just mentioned is a full 2-day online certification course for nutraMetrix. Those people that attend that, the ticket price is $195. It is done all online via Zoom. It'll be 2 full days, and it gives you nutraMetrix consultant status for a period of 2 years. So it's a great intro to really dive into nutraMetrix, and people that attend that will also get access to our learning management system. So with that, thank everybody for joining us. Thank you, Sarah, so much today for joining us. And we hope everybody has a great rest of the day. We'll see you next Tuesday. I'll be with Dennis Franks and we'll be talking about the evolution of nutraMetrix and the development of the HP and HP1 program. Okay, have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.